All right, so now that we've made those delicious chicken strips, you might want a little cream gravy to go with those. Now here's the good news. Do you remember how to make regular gravy? Now this was a real trick that mothers would teach their kids and grandmothers would teach their grandkids, because you would Sunday morning make up a big pan of fried bacon, and then with the bacon grease left over, you had to pour a little bit of flour in there, and you had to get it mixed just right so that all of the flour molecules were coated by the fat, and then you could add your milk in there, and if you were good and you stirred it just properly, you got this delicious cream gravy. If you didn't get it quite right, you got a clumpy mess, and your husband went, no, we're not doing that. So that was a really great trick that, that was back in the time when mothers cooked at home in the 50s or 60s. The key to a good wife was that she could make a good cream gravy. Well, guess what? When you talk about gluten-free gravy, not only do we not have to worry about any of those problems, it's as simple as it could be, but it also happens to be low carb, and because it happens to be full of fiber, it actually makes you full faster. So it's not only easier, it's better for you. And if we make it with a low-fat milk or even with a soy milk, then it doesn't even have the cholesterol or the calories or the carbohydrates. So everybody ought to be eating gluten-free gravy. And all we're going to do is we're going to take 1 cup of your milk or your soy milk or whatever you want to have, and we're going to do 1 teaspoon of guar gum. Now, here is the only trick to this, and that is that we want to start stirring as we put it in there, and we want to keep stirring. Because if you just drop your guar gum or your xanthan gum into your milk and you just let it sit there in a clump, that will clump up. But as long as we stir it, we're good. And all we had to do was stir that, and we're going to let that sit for about 2 minutes, and we're going to go away and do whatever we want to do, which often isn't the case when you're cooking. You need to usually be right there. And when this gets thick, you're going to add whatever flavors. I'll get a spoon so we can see this. Once it gets thick, we're going to add whatever flavors you would. Now, if that is that little bit of bacon grease, you could do that. Or if you want to make it a little bit healthier, we could add a little bit of chicken broth, then a little bit of salt and pepper, and you've got a delicious gravy, and you didn't have to worry about clumps or anything, and you didn't even have to cook it on the stove. But of course, once this heats up and we add our flavors, of course we do want hot gravy, so we will cook it on the stove. But it's basically done, and that's all we have to do. Thank you.